Manchester United 2, Brentford 1 is the final score from Old Trafford as Manchester United put the rot to the side and finally get a win on the boards at home. Hi, my name is Izzy, and if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and hit that like button so you can let YouTube know and everybody else know that you're enjoying this content. But now, let's get to the game at hand. Manchester United came into this game off of two home losses, having lost to Crystal Palace and Galatasaray. Two games in which Manchester United showed their Jekyll and Hyde form. So against Crystal Palace, they were for long parts of that game subdued by a very good defensive performance. However, against Galatasaray, they started that game off very well, unfortunately losing 3-2. When they came up into this game, they were expecting to face a Brentford side who is also low in confidence, however, having just lost two games. Now, the game did not start off very well for United. They went behind after 26 minutes to Jensen's goal, which Onana could have easily kept out, and I think a lot more eyes are going to be on him simply because at the start of his reign at Manchester United, he was castigating players such as Maguire and trying to be the big man on campus. Now, unfortunately, he has been having a string of mistakes that have led to Manchester United conceding a lot of goals. So Man United fans could have feared for the worst at this point. They could have easily thought, hey, we are down again and our fans are going to be on our backs. And Manchester United have not lost 3 home fixtures in the league since the 70s in a row. So this was a game that Manchester United needed to win. And their performance got a little bit better as the game moved on to the second half. And if it wasn't for Brentford's good defensive display, Manchester United would probably have scored a little bit earlier. The thing is, when you have to rely on a bench that does not seem as strong as the other teams in the top 4, it was becoming a little bit more worrying for Ten Hag as to what he was going to have to do to change the flow of the game. But the 87th minute inclusion of McTominay seemed to swing the game into Manchester United's favor. They seemed to have a little bit more urgency going forward. And eventually he came up with 2 clutch goals, much in the same fashion as Tottenham did against Sheffield United in added time to beat Brentford. It was very harsh on Brentford, who were very good defensively for most of the game, and their backline was very well drilled. Thomas Frank is probably asking himself what he needed to do to make themselves more compact in the last 5 to 10 minutes. But you know, in games like these, especially with a Manchester United crowd that is baying for their team to score, concentration is important. And the 2 goals were avoidable. They were not spectacular, and I think Brentford should have come off as winners in this game. However, Manchester Utd Spirit is going to be a lot more confident as they try to go into this break now with an ability to sit back and look at some of the mistakes that they've made, some of the things that they could do better, and is going to give Erik ten Hag some respite because he did look as though he might be on the chopping block. There were some rumors of him possibly facing the sack if the form did not improve. And you did not want them to go into the break off of the back of 3 consecutive losses. But it shows the spirit that is within Manchester United. Unfortunately, just the other day, Kathy Ferguson passed away, Sir Alex Ferguson's wife. And I think this was something more of a fitting way to come back into the game, a tribute to a lady who was by the side of Manchester United's greatest ever and probably one of the world's best ever managers to ever exist. And so this is hopefully going to be something that could soothe his soul a little bit. Rest in peace to his wife, who, if I recall well, urged him to stay into the league when he had contemplated retirement about 23 years ago, when Manchester United were starting to go down the path of a trophyless 3 years spell. And she saw the man that she loved not happy and fulfilled when he was contemplating that decision. And, you know, she urged him to stay into the game a little bit longer. And eventually, Manchester United ended up scooping 13 Premier League titles. And so rest in peace to her, and condolences to Sir Alex Ferguson and the Manchester United family. But as far as this game was concerned, it was very important for Manchester United to go into the break with a win. It didn't matter how it came. It didn't matter if it was 2 late goals or if it was a convincing victory. They need something to change the flow of how their season has been going. And I think that this game was good enough for them to look back at and gain some confidence, no matter how small it is. Brentford, on the other hand, have not lost a ton of games this season. I believe this was their third loss. But coming in the fashion that it did is going to hurt. It's going to hurt them a lot because they only needed to hold off Manchester United for 3 more minutes to see out a very important win. Either way, I think Brentford are going to be fine. I think they will eventually arrest this slump that they have. Thomas Frank, like I've said many times, is a very good coach, and I don't see any reason to why Brentford would be hurting. So that's all I got for this game. Good for Manchester United. It would have been nice to troll them for a third consecutive loss, but they managed to pull the win out of the hat, and this is to them. Once again, rest in peace to Kathy Ferguson and Alex Ferguson and the Manchester United family. It's been your boy Izzy, and I will catch you guys on the next review. Peace.